Hey, I'm Anthony Romano, and I've been doing keto for 8 years, bodybuilding, coaching people, all that stuff. And this video is going to tell you the most important pre-workout you can use on keto, potassium. Okay, so I'm going to explain this, and you're probably thinking, okay, yeah, this is basic, or this isn't what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear creatine and some jacked up pre-workout ingredients.
That tastes like fruit punch and hits like falcon punch!
Okay, but listen. This video is important, and if you have the appropriate application of potassium in your pre-workout, you are going to benefit no matter what performance you're interested in, okay? So listen, I'm going to try to make this brief, and after that, you're going to be having way better workouts. Or maybe you've already known this, and you just can find a way to tweak it to get that extra kick. Okay, so why is potassium the best pre-workout ingredient you can use on keto? Okay, now keep in mind, there's plenty of other pre-workout ingredients that I'll talk about. You know, there's like actual products I've talked about, like MCTs, which I got, I got some MCT here. This is an old bottle I had, but high quality stuff. I have, my actual ketone supplements. Of course, everyone knows the basics, the BCAAs, the creatines, citrulline, beta-alanines, all those things, caffeine. Okay, there's other videos I have talking about those things, and I have plenty of experience with those things. But the actual specific benefit you're going to get from potassium is massive when you're on a ketogenic diet. Realistically, on any diet, but on keto, you don't have as high natural amounts of potassium, especially if you're new. As your body adapts, it's going to have a way better balance of electrolytes, and overall, you're not going to need really any supplements to feel great on this diet. It's simply a luxury at that point. But here's the thing. There is a concept in the body, there's a mechanism called the potassium sodium pump, or the sodium potassium pump. It's not really a pump, it's basically like the battery that's in each of our cells in the body. And this contributes a large amount of the body's energy. I believe it's 30% or something like that. And back in the day, years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I remember watching plenty of great videos from Dr. Berg on this. So shout out to Dr. Berg, because he's a great keto resource. And maybe when I was 3 or 4 years into keto, that's kind of when I started to get a lot better at tailoring people's performance and whatnot. But potassium, okay? Your body wants to keep potassium in the cell, and it generally likes to have sodium outside of the cell. But there's this mechanism, basically like this conducting that goes on in this sodium potassium pump, where two potassiums go in basically, and 3 sodiums will come in and out. And essentially, if you know about electrolytes, okay, you'll notice that if you got up to 9th grade in high school, you'll notice that all the electrolytes are on the periodic table, okay? Because there's this sort of, chemical, electrical view of the body and how it functions. And these electrolytes literally conduct electricity. That is how they produce the electrical end of energy production in your body. So when we have the appropriate amounts of potassium, you're going to have better, to make the answer smoother for you, you're going to have better energy because you're literally conducting it through this sort of battery mechanism between sodium and potassium. But, okay, you can't get out of here yet because I'm going to explain something to you. When you substitute or supplement with any electrolyte in and of itself in isolation, you can deplete your levels of other electrolytes. So that is why I always tell people, if you have too much sodium, you can deplete your potassium. If you have too much potassium, you can deplete your magnesium. If you have too much magnesium, you can deplete your calcium. There's this, snowball effect with all the different electrolytes. And each of the electrolytes in the body, in the sense of, bodybuilding context, have different functions as it applies to, contracting muscles, relaxing muscles. Okay? Potassium will play a large role in, that sort of electrical contraction of the muscle. And if you have too much sodium, you can create too much of a water retention effect. If you have not enough calcium, you'll have a harder time relaxing the muscles, okay? So essentially, there's a whole electrical picture and puzzle that there is to dissect with electrolytes. But that's not what the topic of this video is. The point of this video is you want to get more potassium in your actual cells. So how do you do that? You get enough potassium, and you make sure that the ratio between sodium and potassium is not too heavy in favor of sodium. Optimally, you should have more potassium than sodium because, like I said, sodium is going to deplete potassium. 4-to-1 potassium to sodium is what a lot of people say. And in general, the best electrolyte complex I have used is in the description, okay? It's the LMNT. It's another by more keto OGs, probably the only people who've been keto bodybuilding longer than me, really, Luis Villaseñor. So essentially, LMNT Electrolytes, those have an appropriate amount of sodium, potassium, magnesium. But what you need to do to make this no longer confusing is you want around 4-to-1 potassium to sodium. If you're not quite up there, that's fine. 3-to-1, everybody's different, and I can't measure your electrolytes, especially because they're intracell. And your blood actually doesn't display, your potassium. You have to get special tests to actually measure inside the cell and how much electrolyte is in there. Okay, so when we're talking about electrolytes and how to actually get them, I always recommend getting a supplement that actually has the electrolytes in them. But this video isn't just about potassium, okay? Plot twist. Bet you didn't see this one coming. I've actually been dead the whole time. So, M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. No. Basically, good ketone supplements, like the one I link here, which I don't get paid for. I just love this brand. They're fantastic. Everything's with luxury ingredients, pure, natural sweetening with a lot of these things. No fillers, no bullshit, okay? Athletic Alliance, Canadian brand. Basically, they include a full electrolyte in this ketone supplement. So oftentimes, first of all, ketones, fantastic supplement for lifting, okay, and other exercise, mainly because, you're getting more energy and they can also act as a vasodilator, so better blood flow. But I'm talking about BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate, specifically in supplement form. But these ketones have to be attached to salt in order to lower their acidity. So when you consume them, you get your electrolytes. You get this boost as well, in addition to having the ketones. In fact, you could even get your own electrolytes, your own potassium, which I have linked down below, and you can supplement with that as well and get good effects from the electrolyte perspective. But ketones themselves, combined with electrolytes, is very powerful. And the main reason I'm promoting it is because it's simply a killing two birds with one stone type of action. It's a double whammy. So if you have a good ketone product where you have the electrolytes in there, it makes things easier for you, right? One of the other things I like using pre-workout is a good BCA. Again, Athletic Alliance, just a fantastic brand, but they have a full electrolyte in here. They actually use Celtic sea salt, and they have multiple forms of sodium magnesium. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to have more potassium than sodium. And the way it actually fits into the tangible effect you're going to get from a workout is, of course, going to be better energy because of that sort of battery-like dynamic I was explaining. But you're also going to get better pump. Literally, you are going to have a better distribution of fluid going in your muscles. So you do notice this in your workout. It literally acts like a pump, even though pump isn't really the best word to just explain this mechanism. It's just a term they used. What you're going to feel tangibly in the workout is way better muscle pump, way better energy. And here's the last piece of the puzzle, okay? Electrolytes have a strong relationship with your blood sugar balance, okay? So my other videos about willpower and all these other things have explained that to cut you to the finish line, your willpower in the moment is determined by your blood sugar. So keto and fasting are great for that because it stabilizes your blood sugar and basically gets you to be able to perform in states of low blood glucose. So a lot of people, their brain taps out when they're in that low blood sugar spot. Not because they're actually out of fuel, but because the brain detects low blood sugar and is trying to say, whoa, easy there, pal. Take a step back. So it's a precautionary measure because your brain doesn't want you to run out of fuel if you're being chased by a tiger. So let's get back to muscle pumps, okay? When we're talking about muscle pumps and blood sugar and energy, you will be able to last longer in the gym. You will have more endurance. And I've experimented with this plenty of times. I have clients that have told me this plenty of times. People I've helped for free that have told me this plenty of times. Essentially, when we're looking at your energy and the relationship with electrolytes and your blood sugar, when you're low in blood sugar, or even if you're low in sodium, for example, if you're low in sodium, your body's going to jack up its own insulin in an attempt to kind of hang on to more water. So this is not good because insulin is the fat storage hormone. And in that context, it's generally going to be undesirable because you're going to be hungrier, you're going to have more volatile mood and energy because your insulin's going up, your blood sugar's going down. So it's all in an attempt to hang on to more water, but if you simply had the electrolytes in place, your body wouldn't need to do that and you would have that extra hydration. So there's this relationship with your blood sugar, and if you can have the appropriate amounts of electrolytes, sodium, potassium, and at least those two, what you're going to notice is you're going to be able to perform longer in the gym because you're basically giving your blood sugar some training wheels, some support, so that it doesn't have to tank, right? Because eventually, through the end of a workout, your blood sugar is going to go down slowly whenever you do something that's taxing in terms of discipline, mentally or physically. So whenever you're doing something that is difficult, especially because there's this relationship with stress and cortisol, you're going to be using and mobilizing more blood glucose, whether you eat sugar or not. But the main point here is if you just simply listen to me beating the crap out of you with this urge to start using some potassium and electrolytes in your pre-workout, what you're going to notice is a better duration of time that you're able to train for, because you're going to notice that you're not going to know this, but your blood sugar will be more stable as a result because you're giving it this support. You're basically preventing the body from not only dehydrating itself, and which it would then want to hang on to more water, but you're also keeping that blood sugar stable, and you're not getting in this position where your insulin's going up, your hunger's going up because the insulin's up and your blood sugar's down. Essentially, everything gets improved if you start getting adequate amounts of potassium in a pre-workout. So whatever pre-workout you do get, even though I have other videos on fantastic pre-workout ingredients, and perhaps I'm even writing a book on the bodybuilder's guide to pre-workouts because I've used almost everything. I've been selling them in stores for years. So essentially, worked in the supplement industry and whatnot. Essentially, those are going to come down the line. But as far as people on keto, and those with fasting routines, by the way, people in intermittent fasting, going without food and, only drinking water in that time, get your damn electrolytes, particularly potassium. That's going to boost up those batteries that are inside your cells. And your body's going to thank you for that, and you will notice, and then you'll come back and you'll thank me for that. So you can start off by subscribing and liking, and also following my Instagram, okay? Follow the Instagram, and that's all I really have to say for this one, okay? If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you, as always, for the support. Anthony Romano, peace.